Welcome everyone. Thank you for watching this video. Let's start with something everyone used to understand. Decades ago, entertainers were entertainers. They put on a show. They wore costumes. They wore wigs. They wore makeup. They played a role. But when the lights went down and the performance ended, they went back to being regular people. You might see them in the grocery store or walking down the street, and you would hardly recognize them. That was normal because everyone understood that what you saw on stage was not real. It was a persona. It was entertainment. Nobody confused the costume with real life. Fast forward to the last 20 years. Now entertainers never take off the costume. They live in it. The wigs, the colored hair, the fake lashes, the implants, the tattoos, the clownish outfits. All of it is worn 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is not just a stage persona anymore. They walk around in real life looking like the stage act. They walk around in public exactly the same way they appear on stage. And here is the dangerous part. The public sees it, and instead of understanding it is a show, they imitate it. And now the public looks at this and says, "Oh, that must be acceptable. That must be fashionable. I can wear this to work. I can live like this every day." And this is where the problem begins. So let's elaborate.
He has the answers, baby. The kind you don't find in just any book. Dr. Debonair, ooh, the professor of love.
This is monkey see, monkey do. And it is not new, but it has accelerated in the last 20 years. The psychology is simple. If the entertainer only dressed like that for a show, people knew it was make-believe. But now that same entertainer goes to the airport, the grocery store, or posts selfies in full clown uniform. The message becomes, this is not just a costume, this is real life. And that encourages regular people to imitate it. The end result is this: you look like a clown. When you are on stage or in front of a camera, people call it entertainment. But when you are in everyday life and you present yourself that way, people call it foolish, because that is what it is. Think of supermodels on the runway. They wear extreme, over-the-top designer clothes that no normal person would ever wear to the office, to the store, or even to a nightclub. Those outfits are not for living. They are for a show. Everyone knows that. Nobody says, "I am going to wear that to my job interview." But with entertainers, people have lost that distinction. They see Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, or whoever wearing wigs, fake nails, fake lashes, fake body parts, and they think that is fashion. They think that is lifestyle. They think that is normal. And it is not just women. Men are guilty just as much as women. Men imitate rappers and athletes with tattoos everywhere, sagging pants, dyed hair, gold teeth, and whatever circus style trend comes next. At a concert, you might call it performance, but in the workplace, in everyday life, you just look like a clown. It used to be that companies would never allow this. You would not even get an interview if you walked in with rainbow hair, visible tattoos, and your pants hanging off your backside. But now society has changed. Companies accept it. Hollywood glorifies it. Social media promotes it. The culture is upside down, and everyone is told this is normal. But here is where it hits your personal life. Most men do not want a woman, do not want to marry a woman who looks like that. They may want to lust on her. They may want to be entertained by her. But when it comes to choosing a wife and a mother, they want authenticity. They want a woman who does not need to hide behind a mask. And most women do not want to marry a man who looks like he just stepped out of a rap video or a reality TV circus. They may be intrigued for a while, but when it comes to a husband and a father, they want stability, not a clown. This is destroying your chances of getting married. Most men do not want to marry a clown. Yes, they might lust after the costume. Yes, they might enjoy the fantasy. But when it comes to choosing a wife and the mother of their children, most men want a real woman. They want authenticity. They want a woman who does not need a mask to feel valuable. The same goes for women. Most women do not want to marry a man who looks like a caricature of a rapper or a sideshow act. They might be entertained for a while. They might even be attracted to the flash and the energy. But when it comes time to choose a husband, a provider, and a father, they do not want a clown. Now, there are exceptions. Sometimes a normal person marries someone living in this clown persona, but those marriages rarely last. At first, they convince themselves it is okay, but then reality sets in, and they say, wait a second, I married the costume. I married the clown. And soon enough, it ends in divorce. Because it is impossible to build a serious life with someone who is performing like a clown 24/7. The bigger issue is judgment. If you are imitating celebrities, what does that say about your maturity, your thinking, your IQ? When you adopt all of this fakery as your lifestyle, you broadcast to the world that you cannot tell the difference between entertainment and reality. That is not attractive. That is not wife material. That is not husband material. It is childish. And here's the truth people do not want to face. If you are imitating celebrities, If you are walking around with your clown mask on every day, then you are not attracting the type of man or woman you actually need. You are only attracting people who are shallow, people who are gold diggers, or people who are just dumb enough to think that clown behavior is normal. That is the pool you are fishing in, and that is why you are not married. You only attract people who are shallow, people who are gold diggers, or people who are just as lost as you are. And none of that leads to marriage that lasts. And here's the tragedy. Everyone knows deep down that most entertainers do not even look that good in real life. Take away the wigs, the filters, the implants, the team of makeup artists, and you are left with someone ordinary. Sometimes someone not very attractive at all. The entire fantasy is built on fakery. Yet regular people are modeling themselves after that. They are building their identity around something fake. The sad part is that this was not always the case. There was a time when society drew a line between entertainment and real life. Everyone knew the difference. Entertainers were allowed to entertain, and regular people lived regular lives. Today, that line is erased or blurred, and too many people cannot tell the difference anymore. So I'm telling you right now, stop imitating celebrities. Stop imitating clowns. Because the only thing you're doing is making sure the kind of man or woman you really need will never take you seriously. So let me make it simple. When you look like a clown, you attract people who like clowns. But if what you actually want is a real relationship with a real person who respects you and takes you seriously, then stop imitating celebrities. Stop imitating clowns, because the only thing you are guaranteeing is that the kind of man or woman you actually need will look right past you. Thank you.